Hi folks, Dr. Jim Gisman here, retired intelligence guy uh, from up in the Pentagon and born in Washington, D.C. And I don't blame Trump at all. When I worked up there, I worked in VA headquarters, I worked in the Pentagon. Uh, it was definitely not safe to ride those subways, the metro. Okay? Guys were selling dope on them every day. I carried a sword cane when I worked up in the VA because I had a white beard, and that made me a target. You know, old folks are a target. Now, so he needs to sit there. That is a federal property anyway. Okay, he can sit there and put all sorts of federal law enforcement in that town because it is federal property. It is not a state. It's the District of Columbia, and it was made that way on purpose by our founding fathers. They did not want. Okay, they did not want that to be a state. In fact, part of it extended 50 miles both ways, and part of it was over there in the Fairfax area until the secession of Virginia from the Union back before the Civil War. So, and what else is going on? First female umpire. Oh, you're safe. It's cool. All right. I don't know. No, I'm sure she'll be just great. Okay, I'm just making jokes. Just being silly, folks. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a female umpire. Okay? If you slide in the home base and stuff like that and knock the catcher over, she'll probably sit there and say, "Are you boys okay?" Because she cares for them. Okay? That's a caring thing. That's a female thing. It's a caring thing. Okay? They care more. All right? I'm not sitting there trying to sit there and be sexist about it. They just do. They care more. That's part of their nature. Nurturing. Anyway. All right. On to other things, for God's sake. Gaza thing. Hey, the Israelis going into Gaza, they have to go into Gaza City. That is the headquarters of Hamas. They have to wipe them out. They got to hunt each one of them down. And I guarantee you the rest of the hostages are in Gaza City, are in tunnels under it. Okay? And they have to take that, and they have to sit there and occupy that place until, and rebuild it, and put a civilian government. They said they're going to put a civilian government in again. I don't know why. This two-state solution didn't work before. Why are you going to do it again? Okay? They gave them the property before, and it was seafront property. They could have had like the Mediterranean Riviera thing going on in the Middle East, okay? All those fancy yachts and stuff pulling in. They could have had that. They could have made a fortune doing that, just like the French do in the French Riviera and Monaco and all that, all right? Invite all those rich people in to sit there and enjoy your beach. Charge the crap out of them. All right. Anyway, got a lot going on. Electrical stuff in the kitchen and running electric to my shed so I can sit there and broadcast to you from my little workshop out in the shed in a little privacy, little studio area. And anyway, okay, so Africans, they brokered the peace deal with the countries at the Caspian that were fighting each other. Everyone's been fighting the Armenians since eternity. Armenian was the first language of the Bible. Okay? That was the first language. That was the proper language back in those days. And it was the first country to declare itself totally Christian. Okay? And it's right smack dab in the Middle East, surrounded by all these Arabs, okay, that are Muslim. So they've been fighting themselves just like the Israelis have. Okay? Their Armenians were almost totally annihilated by the Turks. There was a genocide thing going on, and they still do it. Anyway, so he's put that to rest. Trump, again, he says, brokered a peace deal every month he's been in. Okay? And what he's doing is he's boxing in the people that are enemies, China and Russia, one at a time. He's boxing them in, and taking away all their income. He's going to break their banks. Okay? And he's almost done it with China before, and he's going to do it again. He's already sitting there telling them, okay, we're in the middle of trade talks. We've got a temporary deal going on, but you better not be buying Russian oil, or sit there and at least decrease it. And we can sit there and talk then. That's the way he's doing. He's using these tariffs as international security things. Okay? He's getting what he wants with these tariffs, because everyone wants a piece of our pie. And that's a fact. Everyone does want a piece of our pie. And China wants it. We're their biggest market. Okay? And if they don't get it, they're going to be... I did get my statue through during that 90-day thing, so I didn't pay too much for a tariff. I think it was like $1,100, okay? Which was a lot different than that 145% that I avoided. And it should be pulling into port in Miami. It went through the Suez Canal. I got the ship's name and everything. And it should be pulling into port in Miami around the 28th of August. We might have it at our post by 9/11. When we do our 9/11 solemn ceremonies, just unveil that thing. I'm very proud of it. Okay? One of the few things that I'm probably going to leave behind me. All right? Now, I love the United States. I'm a constitutionalist, and I love the American Legion. And that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting there helping them. I'm helping all my organizations like the Fleet Reserve Association, the Disabled American Veterans, the VFW. I've become a VFW chaplain now, so I'm a chaplain for the VFW, VA, American Legion, and DAV. So I've been busy, okay? And that's my mission, taking care of palliative veterans, or seeing them close to the end. I've given last rites too. I gave last rites to both of my wives, late wives. So I don't know how I got chosen for this, how God chose me. I don't know. I was never wearing my religion on my sleeve, but I'm trying to do my best. And I know works alone won't get you into heaven. The only people in heaven, okay, not all Christians going to go to heaven now, partner. Okay? The only Christians going to heaven are those that are saved and those that have been forgiven. Okay? Just like Jesus said to the one person on the next cross over to him, he said, this day you'll be in paradise. Because he sat there and just asked for forgiveness. Remember that always. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Okay? There's a lot of things I've done in my life, and I guess I have to forgive myself for them, because the people around when I did them are no longer around anymore. That's one of the scourges of when you get old. All your friends and relatives start fading away on you until you're all alone again. I've been alone a lot in my life, so I'm not afraid of that. Anyway, let's get on with it. He's boxed him in with another peace deal in Russia, and he's gotten rid of that trick that India was doing, where they were sitting there buying oil from Russia and then putting it on the market as refined fuel. Yeah, okay, that's a way to get around the sanctions. India stopped it, okay? And now we're sitting there, and now he's moved over to China, and he's talking to China. He's boxing Russia in to where Putin's got no choice but to agree to anything, or else he's going to go broke. Or the oligarchs, which are the old Russian mafia, really, okay, at the end of their empire, that's who took over, basically. And that's why Putin's just a thug, just like the rest of them. But anyway, they're next. He's going to box them in. You notice he's doing it to all the BRIC countries. B-R-I-C. Brazil, Russia, India, China. That's, in economic terms, we call those the BRIC countries. They're supposed to be emerging countries. They're not. They're not. They're big economies now. All of them. Okay? So they're not emerging or none of that crap. So let's stop this thing of thinking they're little infants growing up. They're not. They're grown up. Anyway, in fact, Brazil is going to sit there and start using the Chinese currency for their trade. That is disturbing, because we have to keep the American dollar as the world's reserve currency, or else your money's going to be worthless. Okay? So keep an eye on that. And I love you all. Take care. And remember, God bless this great country. God bless us all. I love you. I remain your humble servant. And thank God Trump's in office. Take care.